As a longtime fan of the show that was let down by the ending, I originally read the books in order to create my own ending for the saga and make peace with the unfinished story. But unfortunately, Feast for Crows and A Dance with Dragons didn't provide enough content despite their great length. There was too much filler, and anyone trying to find closure by reading these books won't get it either. So I decided to make my own ending in my own mind. Basically, I made up my own Winds of Winter and a Dream for Spring. Anyone can do the same thing. You can do it too. In my canon, the real Song of Ice and Fire ended with a Storm of Swords. For me, George R. R. Martin's story ended after Tywin Lannister's endgame and the Red and Purple weddings. Then all the key characters got the ending that I wanted them to get in the first place. After I did this, I made peace with A Song of Ice and Fire, said goodbye and thanks to George R. R. Martin and HBO for creating this world, and sailed off to the sunset. I think anyone can do the same thing and get the same strong sense of closure that I got. I advocate a proactive approach. Let me show you what I did, and maybe you can accomplish the same thing. For my personal ending of A Song of Ice and Fire, I thought of my favorite stories in fantasy, and what a truly satisfying ending means to me. For me, it's The Witcher games and the books by Andrzej Sapkowski. Then I approached my favorite characters in the world of Westeros, and performed some wishful thinking modeled on what I really liked about The Witcher. This is a trick you can do too. If you like Lord of the Rings the best, or any other fantasy series, you can transfer what your preferences are from another fantasy series to A Song of Ice and Fire. My made up personal ending for A Song of Ice and Fire will reverse the nihilism and negativity of the novels. It's a philosophical and moral ending that's both complex and inherently positive. I would like to see as many redemption arcs as possible for both the villains and the antiheroes. In my personal ending, I want the cycle of conflict in Westeros to end. For me, the first three books fully exist and are canon, but Feast for Crows and A Dance for Dragons are mostly on the chopping block. In my mind, I will discard everything I don't like, but keep what's quality. My version of Winds of Winter and A Dream for Spring will start with various factions positioning themselves for war. Davos returns to Stannis. Stannis and Davos become Jon Snow's mentors, and the Jon Snow character grows a lot in maturity and wisdom. After Jon Snow's training is done, the White Walkers start to steamroll Westeros. The Boltons and their allies are the first to encounter the monsters, and they are destroyed. Due to this devastating first strike, the human factions never get a chance to fight each other. They are stunned and are forced to fight the White Walkers in an uncoordinated manner. Stannis and the Watch fight the monsters and are defeated. Stannis falls in battle along with the Red Priestess Melisandre. Before their end, both realize the prophecy of Azor Ahai was wrong. Jon Snow and the remnants of his command flee south. This cataclysm causes all the human factions to pause their civil war, as it is clear that they have a common enemy and that the White Walkers are truly apocalyptic. With diplomacy, Jon Snow unites the humans against the White Walkers. The White Walkers are defeated, but at a very heavy cost to humans, and all of Daenerys Targaryen's dragons are lost. The loss of the Great Dragons is tragic, but necessary. This is the medieval equivalent of nuclear disarmament. After the great victory, Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen become king and queen and unite the realm despite everything. There will also be a shocking redemption arc for Cersei. Cersei will get her vengeance on the High Sparrow and the Faith Cult, just like in the show. The threat to the Lannisters will be removed. But Cersei gets mortally wounded and passes away in a slow and lingering way. Jaime Lannister spends weeks on her bedside, and there's some sort of final redemption there through finally having time to think and reflect on her terrible actions. She will finally understand the truth. It'll be a very moving and unexpected twist given George R. R. Martin's one-sided characterization of this villain. With the passing of Cersei Lannister, Jaime Lannister is free to take control of his family, and is free of her. He marries Brienne of Tarth. As for Tyrion, he gets with Penny the Dwarf Girl and overcomes his depression. while being Daenerys' useful and trusted advisor. George R. R. Martin's favorite character Tyrion gets a truly happy, glowing ending, and he can finally live in peace after the war. I can go on and on about the other characters, but I'll end it here. My ending is a traditionally satisfying ending, and the broad strokes are somewhat predictable. In writing, it's called The Hero's Journey, and is well known in the screenwriting community. But unlike the Song of Ice and Fire books, who try to subvert fantasy and storytelling tropes, I chose the safe option. It has been utterly fulfilling, and for me, I'm done with the franchise until Winds of Winter. I think that fans should get the ending they deserve after so much time and so many emotions invested in the franchise, and so many hard times for the heroes of the saga. My ending is a really straightforward ending that would have been way more satisfying than the ones the fans got in the show, and would have made everyone more or less happy with the final result. After the disappointment of Feast and Dance, and the final seasons of HBO's Game of Thrones, I think we all have better ideas about how things should have gone down than the showrunners. Thanks so much for watching. Please help out this channel by liking, subscribing, and ringing the notification bell. And check out their playlists. Comment below on what you think about Game of Thrones and George R. R. Martin.